Traders use top-down analysis to combine multiple time frames because it gives a clearer picture of the market and helps identify better entries. The idea is simple. Start with the big picture, then drill down into the smaller time frames. But here's the problem. Most traders get this wrong. They try to apply every concept from higher time frames onto the lower ones, and suddenly their chart becomes messy, confusing, and completely unhelpful. That's exactly why so many traders fail when using multiple time frames. So, is there a right way to use top-down analysis? Absolutely. In this video, we'll break down why it's so powerful, show you where traders go wrong, and walk you through our exact method for combining time frames effectively. By the end, you'll know exactly which time frames to focus on and how to apply price action and smart money concepts in a clear, simple, and actionable way. So, what exactly is top-down analysis? It's the process of starting your chart analysis on the higher time frames, like the weekly and daily, then drilling down into lower ones, such as 4-hour, 1-hour, and 15-minute, to get a more precise view of the market. But why is top-down analysis so important? Because it gives you a clear understanding of overall market conditions before you enter a trade. Starting with higher time frames helps you identify the broader trend in key market structure levels. Then, as you move down, you can refine your entries and avoid trades that go against the bigger picture. In short, top-down analysis keeps you aligned with the market, filters out low-quality setups, and gives you the confidence to make smarter trading decisions. For example, here, we have a clear downtrend on the 15-minute chart. Taking a short on a pullback might seem like a great way to follow the trend, but when we zoom out to the 4-hour time frame, we can see that price has reached a key market structure level. That means there's a higher chance of a reaction here, making us question whether the short trade is still a good idea. Now, let's look at the opposite scenario. Here, we have an uptrend on the 1-hour time frame. If we switch to the daily chart, we can see there's still plenty of room before price reaches the next key level. So when we drop back down to the 1-hour, we can confidently look for long setups and target that higher time frame structure. In this third example, price is consolidating on the 5-minute chart, moving inside a tight range. A breakout in either direction might look tradable. But when we zoom out to the 1-hour chart, the higher time frame direction is clearly bullish. So instead of trading both sides, we focus only on buys. If price breaks below the range, there's a higher chance it becomes a false breakout. And if price moves back into the range, we can look for long entries, aligned with the higher time frame trend. In another example, price pulls back into a supply zone, but it's not immediately clear whether it will reject and give us a selling opportunity. This is where we can drop down to a lower time frame for confirmation. On the lower time frame, we can look for a clear reversal signal, like a break of the trend line, or a change of character with price breaking below a previous structure level. From there, we can even identify new supply zones and enter the trade with greater precision. All of these examples show how combining multiple time frames leads to clearer analysis and more accurate entries. Now, before we continue, if you're serious about applying this kind of structured analysis in real trading conditions, the environment you trade in matters just as much as the strategy itself. Right now, GOAT Funded Trader is running a giveaway where you can get a chance to win a $100,000 funded account. This means you could potentially start trading a large account without paying for the challenge up front. And if you're just getting started, they're also offering 50% off for new users, which significantly lowers the cost of entry. So instead of paying full price for a challenge, you can test your strategy at a much lower cost. What stands out is the flexibility. They offer multiple funding models, including one-step, two-step, and instant funding options, so you can choose what fits your trading style best. There are also no strict time limits on certain challenges, which is a big advantage if you trade patiently using higher time frame analysis like we've been discussing. One thing they emphasize heavily here is payouts. They claim to have paid over $20 million to traders, and they support multiple withdrawal methods like Skrill, bank transfer, and crypto, which is obviously important because at the end of the day, the main question is, can you actually get your profits out? They also have their own app, available on both iOS and Android, where you can track your accounts and payouts. And one thing they highlight here is real-time payout notifications, showing profits being processed and sent directly to traders. It reinforces the idea that consistency is key, because at the end of the day, getting funded is one thing, but actually getting paid consistently is what matters. If you want to check it out, I'll leave a link in the description. But keep in mind, This isn't free money. You still need a solid system to pass these challenges consistently. So let's get back to our top-down analysis education. This trading technique starts from the higher time frames, mainly the weekly and daily charts. The core analysis is done on the 4-hour and 1-hour time frames. And for additional confirmation, you can drop down to the 15-minute and 5-minute charts. But this part is optional. By combining price action with smart money concepts, the goal of this approach is simple. Identify the true market direction, mark key levels, spot high-quality zones, and execute clean trades. Now let me show you exactly how to apply it, step by step. Step 1. Start with the weekly time frame. On this higher time frame, we focus on just one thing, identifying and marking key market structure levels. That's it. We don't apply any other concepts here because they're simply not necessary. Our main trading happens on the 1-hour chart and below. So the reason we mark these higher time frame levels is simple. When price reaches them, we expect a strong reaction. And we need to see those levels clearly when working on the lower time frames. But what exactly are market structure levels? They're key areas on the chart where price has previously reacted strongly. Technically, every reaction could be considered a structure level, but not all levels are created equal. So here are 5 key criteria that define a strong level. Number 1. It has acted as both support and resistance. When a level has flipped between support and resistance, it becomes more significant and increases the chances of a strong reaction. Number 2. The move away was strong. If price left an area aggressively, it's a sign that the level is important and price may react strongly there again. Number 3. Multiple rejections. When price rejects the same area several times, it shows that traders are consistently reacting at that level. The more rejections, the stronger the level. However, this doesn't guarantee it will hold again. After a break, we typically want to see a retest before expecting another reaction. Number 4. Turning points. These are areas where the market has reversed its trend in the past. Since price was considered overvalued or oversold at these zones, there's a higher chance of a reaction when price returns. And number 5. Recently respected levels. Fresh or newly formed levels tend to be stronger than older ones because they haven't been tested as much and are more likely to produce a clear reaction. Now that you understand what makes a market structure level strong, let's go back to the weekly chart and mark those levels. Here, we're looking at euro-dollar on the weekly time frame. We don't want to overload the chart with too many lines, so we'll only mark levels that are close to the current price. When drawing these levels, aim to capture the highest number of touches. Whether you use candle bodies or wicks doesn't really matter. For example, if I draw the level here, I only capture 2 touches. But if I adjust it slightly, I can include all the key reactions. Also, remember, these are zones, not exact lines. With that in mind, we can see a key level at the top that has acted as strong resistance multiple times. So, we mark it. In the middle, there's another area where price has rejected several times and flipped between support and resistance. So, we mark that as well. Don't worry about being perfectly precise at this stage. We'll refine these levels as we move down to lower time frames. And finally, we can mark the tip of this long lower wick as another key weekly level. That's all we need from the weekly chart, just clear key structure levels to guide us, so we're not trading blindly on the lower time frames. Now, let's move on to the daily chart. On the daily time frame, we start by adjusting the weekly levels to better fit the daily candlesticks. Then we mark the daily structure levels using a different color. The reason for this is simple. We want to clearly distinguish between weekly and daily levels when we drop down further. Remember, the higher the time frame, the more important the level. On the daily time frame, just above the current price, we have a level that has recently acted as both support and resistance, and price moved away from it strongly. That makes it significant, so we mark it. At the bottom, we can see another level that acts as a clear turning point on the lower time frames. Because of that, there's a high chance price will react there again. So we mark that as well. And that's all we need from the daily perspective. We're not applying any additional concepts yet because we still have a few steps before reaching our main trading time frame. Now, let's move on to the 4-hour chart. This is where we begin applying the key smart money concepts: market direction, imbalance, supply and demand zones, and liquidity. Before we continue, let's quickly define each of these so you know exactly what to look for and why they matter. Number 1. Market direction. When price forms a clear 1-2-3 pattern followed by a breakout, we can identify a trend. If price continues by breaking above the most recent swing high, That confirms a continuation of the trend. As long as price stays above the latest protected swing low, the market remains in an uptrend, and we stay bullish. If price pushes higher again, we mark the lowest point that caused the breakout as the new protected swing low. And once again, we remain bullish as long as price stays above that level. However, if price breaks and closes below the protected low, that signals a change of character. This tells us that buyers have failed to defend the structure, and sellers may now be taking control. In other words, it's an early signal that a potential market reversal could be forming. Number 2. Supply and demand zones. These are areas on the chart where strong buying or selling previously caused a significant move. Typically, we mark the origin of that move as the supply or demand zone and expect price to react when it returns. But not all zones are equal. 3 key factors make a zone stronger: inefficiency, break of structure, and pushed distance. First, inefficiency. This happens when price leaves an area very quickly, creating an imbalance between buyers and sellers. We often see this as a fair value gap between candles. These gaps suggest that price may return to fill that imbalance, making the zone more meaningful. Second, break of structure. This occurs when price breaks a previous high or low, confirming continuation in that direction. It shows that buyers or sellers are still in control, strengthening the zone. And third, push distance. This refers to how far price moves away from the zone. The stronger and more explosive the move, the more reliable the zone tends to be. So, a high-quality demand zone would typically create an imbalance, break structure, and push price significantly higher. In that case, we mark the origin of the move, often the last bearish candle before the rally. If price pulls back into this area, it can present a strong long opportunity. Now, number 3, liquidity. Liquidity is where stop losses and pending orders are clustered, usually above swing highs and below swing lows. When liquidity forms above a demand zone, it increases the probability of that zone holding. Why? Because the market often seeks liquidity before making a move. The same concept applies to supply zones. A classic liquidity grab happens when price dips below a level, triggers stop losses, and then quickly reverses back above it. When that happens, it often signals a move in the opposite direction, in this case, to the upside. Now that we've covered the core smart money concepts and how to apply them, let's go back to our 4-hour euro-dollar example. On the 4-hour chart, we can clearly see an uptrend. We can mark the breakouts and identify the key swing points to confirm the structure. However, price has now tapped into a higher time frame key level, one that has the potential to slow the market down or even cause a reversal. At the same time, just below the current price, we have a strong demand zone that aligns with a key weekly level. This confluence increases the probability of a reaction. So, when price pulls back into this area, we expect buyers to step in and potentially push the market higher. To trade this 4-hour demand zone effectively, we would drop down to the 15-minute chart and look for confirmation as price enters the area. But for now, let's move to the 1-hour chart, since this is our main trading time frame. Now, on the 1-hour chart, the picture is less clear. We don't have a clean trend. In fact, price has formed a change of character by breaking below this level, hinting that a potential reversal could be developing. But at the same time, the 4-hour structure is still bullish, and we have a strong demand zone sitting just below price. So right now, the best move is patience. We wait and see which side takes control. If price breaks below the 4-hour demand zone, that tells us supply has taken over. In that case, both the 1-hour and 4-hour structures turn bearish, and we can confidently look for short setups. On the other hand, if price rejects the demand zone and breaks above the daily structure, then both time frames shift bullish, and we look for long opportunities. So, let's play the price forward and see what happens. After multiple attempts, price finally breaks below the demand zone. That confirms supply is now in control. With both the 1-hour and 4-hour structures aligned to the downside, we can start looking for short trades. Now we mark the breakouts and identify new supply zones. Here, we can also spot equal highs, acting as a liquidity pool. This creates a strong setup. If price pulls back into the supply zone, it offers a potential entry. Then, as price continues to break lower, new supply zones form, allowing us to keep entering short positions as the market moves toward the next key level. That's it for today's breakdown. Now you know exactly how to combine smart money concepts with multi-time frame analysis. If you got value from this, drop a like, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.